As you can probably tell from the title, this video is going to be a little bit different from the others. I'm going to start this one from the end. The end of the roll of Portra 800 I shot at Castlewood State Park. Now on the typical roll of 35mm film, there's room for 36 total exposures. So, after my 35th of a cute dog and its owner, I lined up what I thought was going to be my last frame, and shot a photo just a little closer up. And that should have been the end, but maybe because I was feeling adventurous or optimistic or just didn't want to miss out on the increasingly golden lighting, I prepared to wind the camera again. With my thumb on the spring, I challenged God to give me one more frame, just to see if she was paying attention. And when the lever clicked to the end, I shot this frame. A poorly thought out, poorly executed experiment just to test the waters. A frame cut short by the end of the roll. No more material left to be exposed. But that's not really true. I mean, if I wanted more stuff to make into film, there's a whole universe of stuff out there just waiting to be transformed into the infinite film roll. Actually, I take that back. Not necessarily infinite. Sure, the universe itself might be infinite, but we're limited in our reach as a species, right? The observable universe is measurable. It's finite. But that being so, against the backdrop of an infinite tapestry, the difference between the size of the singularity which kicked off the Big Bang and our little bubble of the universe is what? Nothing? Is that it then? Do we just exist in nothing, condemned to a speck trapped within another speck? Oh boy. I guess now that the rabbit hole's comfortably in the rearview mirror, there's nowhere to dive but deeper. There's a reason most people's first experience with coding is to display the phrase, "Hello world." When we first get the means to communicate, isn't that what we do? Hello, this is me. Enjoy the video. In Cixin Liu's The Three-Body Problem, scientists at a radio transmitter work effortlessly to say hello across the galaxy to anyone who will hear them. A vast universe remains unreachable to humanity, for now, though the promise of scientific development puts everything on the horizon. In the novel, space is empty and cold, yes, but it's far from lonely. When scientists sent their signal into the cosmos in search of intelligent life, they received a response in just under a decade. Instant messaging as far as the cosmic timescale is concerned. Extraterrestrial life isn't just out there in the Three-Body Problem, it's next door in Alpha Centauri, a mere 4 light years away. In the story, looking out into the universe wasn't a problem. It's zooming in when things start to break apart. If you want to truly understand something, you should just get a little closer. But eventually you get too close, too small, and suddenly things start to fall apart. On the quantum level, classical models go out the window, and you can't know anything beyond guessing within probable ranges. It's Heisenberg uncertainty. quantum mechanics really made me appreciate better people who worship chaos with as much regard as they do. I'm looking at you, John, Mr. I'm gonna lure a creeper into the house you're trying to build.
Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos.
Here's something I didn't think I'd say when I first decided to shoot a video about film photography. Quantum physics got me to sympathize with the Joker. Even the title of the novel, The Three-Body Problem, is a reference to an astrophysical dilemma involving three mutually orbiting stars in a system which devolves into chaotic motion depending on initial conditions. And hey, I already made a video about chaos theory. It's on a different channel. I'll link it right over there. And yeah, learning that all the rules you found fundamental about the universe are on some level obsolete is kind of a major bummer. But just look at it. It's kind of beautiful. The sky over Castlewood State Park the day I went out to shoot Portra 800 was stunningly blue. Many crossing planes had left the sky jagged with white lines of contrails, which themselves succumbed to chaos and entropy, diffusing into sheer white clouds, waiting to be bisected by another plane's path. But it's not like I look at this photo and think to embrace disorder and burn a big pile of mobster cash. Those vapor trails may eventually find their way through the water cycle, feeding algal growths in the Gulf of Mexico. But they exist frozen here in silver halides, framing this stalk of grass I saw. There's another three bodies doctrine I want to talk about. In Hindu religion and philosophy, according to the Sharira Traya, human beings are composed of three bodies, or sariras. These are the sthul sarira, or gross body, which accompanies the material physical body, the karun sharira, or causal body, described as the seed of the other two bodies, and the suksham sharira, the subtle or astral body, the body of the mind and vital energies. Whereas the rotely mathematical three bodies are viewed in the instability of their relationships, the three shariras exist within a harmony amongst themselves. The causal body is the seed for the gross and astral bodies, who in turn come together as the eternal transmigrating soul. Sure, taken to the size and scale of an immense star or infinitesimal quark, there's disorder. But in a human? In me? I told a bit of a lie earlier in this video. I didn't defeat the odds and overcome God once with a 37th frame on my roll of film. I did it twice. Well, yes, that last frame was a surprising anomaly, bumped up against the edges of what I could capture. The second to last frame was a blessing. Realizing I had one shot left was a happy accident, and I took the time to set down the camera, scoot up real close, and take a photo of myself. Frame 38 and 37 are as distinct in contradiction as disorder is with harmony. Okay, but here's the thing about contradiction. So while in particle physics we learn that when a particle meets an antiparticle, they annihilate into nothing, the same can't be said about ideas. According to the Hegelian dialectic, when a thesis encounters the antithesis, it creates synthesis. Ideas like disorder and order and infinity and finite may seem like opposites, But that's not the case with a Mobius strip. Take this roll of film, twist it once, and connect it at an end, and I could travel from frame 1 to frame 38 and all the way back without ever crossing over. Interestingly, when viewed from the right perspective, a Mobius strip starts to look a little bit like infinity. The resolution of contradiction is the state things find themselves inside a chronosynclastic infundibulum, described in Kurt Vonnegut's The Sirens of Titan as those places where all the different kinds of truths fit together. When one finds themselves entering this astrophysical phenomenon, their astral bodies are immediately separated from their gross bodies. A simultaneously spiritual and scientific phenomenon, they're at the same time described as becoming something akin to probability waves in quantum mechanics. In the novel, a messenger from an alien race, the Tralfamadorians, has crash-landed on one of Saturn's moons, Titan. Unlike the aliens of the three-body problem who relished open contact with Earth, the Tralfamadorian, Salo, is hardwired to execute only a single function: the delivery of a secret message across the universe. Would you like to know how I have been used? How my life has been wasted? Would you like to know what the message is that I have been carrying around for almost 500,000 Earthling years? The message I am supposed to carry for 18 million more years? He held out the square of aluminum in a cupped foot. A dot. A single dot. The meaning of a dot in Tralfamadorian, said old Salo, is greetings. On a less traveled side trail of a side trail, I stumbled upon someone else's message, scrawled under a bridge behind an adamant private property sign. It said hello in its own way. If this roll of 800 ISO film from Kodak is the universe, is a Mobius strip, it's only fitting I end with the start of the roll. A frame that's often only half-baked, burnt on the edges of most film strips from exposure to light while being loaded into the camera. But this one turned out in its entirety. And it wasn't even a photo I took at Castlewood. This one I took a few days prior. It's a photo of my friend John, the Minecraft arsonist. I took it when we got together at a point during a pandemic that has kept us from seeing and being seen by others. It's a photo that says, "Greetings."